All right, hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to be talking about quantum blue light healing. And I'm going to be talking about the human energy field and uh, how we can get stuck and the energy blocks and try to maybe just open those doors of understanding a little bit more. If you're not familiar with me, my name's Nancy Rebecca, and I'm a retired registered nurse. I used to work in open heart recovery, and then I spent a good solid 8 years in hospice. And then I had a spontaneous out-of-body experience, and I could see energy fields. And so I really have still worked as a nurse. I just work as a nurse with energy fields. So let's go ahead and get started. So let me talk about what quantum is. Quantum is waves of light, quantum frequency. You often will hear me talk about frequencies. So we know frequencies as sound. If it's a cello, it's got that really low sound. If it's a piccolo flute, it has a really high sound. Those are different frequencies that can impact us. I remember the movie Poltergeist, when you've got the little woman who comes in, the psychic, to clear the spirits out of the house. And she says, "Step back, you're jamming my frequencies." Well, right now we have a lot of jamming frequencies that surround us, whether it is our television or it's our Wi-Fi or it's just the political news or it's wars that are happening around the world and suffering. There's just a lot of different frequencies that can impact you. And so we are kind of really in this age of this rapid acceleration of healing where we want to be a little bit more selective of the frequencies that we surround ourselves with. And part of the thing that you can manage and you can do is, if you're in a grumpy frequency, how are you going to get out of a grumpy frequency? And that comes down to you making choices about either going for a walk or taking a salt bath or putting on your favorite music and dancing or talking to a friend that really can make you laugh. Those are choices that you can make. But let me just talk a little bit more. So remember, Albert Einstein said, energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only change from one form to another form. And this is exactly what we're talking about. Your spirit's a pure frequency of light. Your body is also a frequency of light, but it's of a more of a denser, slower type frequency. So we've got that solid form. We can't just take off and fly and float through walls and things like that. So energy block. So what is an energy block? An energy block is a clump of energy, like memories, stuck memories, old memories, other people's energy, maybe self-criticism, old belief patterns. Anyway, you name it. It's like, so an energy block is energy that clumps together and will not allow the frequency of energy to flow through that area. So there was a woman I was teaching, and the student said, and I'm teaching about light codes. And she said, I'm working with these light codes, and the light codes are really bright and light, and the frequency is really high. And I really wanted it to raise my frequency, but my whole right shoulder, the right side of my neck, and the right side of my head hurt so bad that pain just kept me down. It was just like, it just kept me so stuck that I couldn't really rise with the frequency of these light codes. And I said, well, you have stuck energy in that area. And she was like, what? And I'm like, well, you have stuck energy there. And so the higher frequency is trying to flow through that block of energy here, and it's struggling to do so. And it was kind of like a new concept for her. And so I thought, well, I'm going to make a video about this. So let's talk about a blood clot. So either you've had a blood clot or you know somebody that's had a blood clot. So a blood clot is a clump of blood cells. They're no longer slipping past each other. One got caught and caused a traffic jam, and another one got caught, and next thing you know, the vein has a block in it, and now the blood can't flow back up to the heart. So it's backing up underneath the blood clot, and they want to get that blood clot dissolved as quickly as possible so it doesn't break loose and travel up to the lungs or the heart. And so that's why they will put you on blood thinners to thin it. So that's blocked energy. Now, a blood clot, yeah, it's a lot of blood cells together, clumping together. But did you know that it was always energy first? There was stuck energy before it became a blood clot. Stuck energy before it became a blood clot. A boulder that falls into a stream can block the flow of water. So in energy, it's the same. You can have a block of energy that can block the flow, just like a boulder heading into water can block the flow. If there's an accident on the highway, that it can block the other cars from getting past. So let's say it's a semi that turned sideways. They were trying to avoid this car, and then there were several cars that backed up and nobody can get around it. That accident caused all the cars to back up on the highway, but guess what? There was an energy block on the highway first before the car crashed. So that's why if I'm ever aware, like, you know, those little signs you see by the highway where someone died, those little crosses and flowers or balloons and things, I always offer a healing. I bring golden light to the area, because once an accident happens, the energy of the accident remains there, and then it can attract another accident, another accident, another accident, that it hits the fabric of the energy and it can't move through. It gets blocked. And so cars can literally either lose direction or get disoriented or something happens, but this happens all the time. So if you're ever passing an accident, you know, offer a little healing. I'm right in the flight path of a trauma hospital, so helicopters fly right over my house all the time. So I'm always saying prayers for the people in the helicopter and the pilots too, and the nurses. All right. So I had a student in my class, this was about 15 years ago, I'm teaching, and she said, "Can you tell me why I get headaches?" And I said, "Well, you have stuck energy." And she said, "No, you didn't hear me. I don't have stuck energy. I have a headache. Like, what has caused me to have this headache?" And I said, "Well, it's not." She said, "It's not energy, it's a headache." And I said, "But yes, but you have stuck energy that causes the headache." So let's say that you have these energy channels from your energy field and it's flowing, but now you get some stuck energy around your head, then suddenly it can't flow anymore, and it causes all the energy to back up, or it can't flow through and clear that stuck energy, so then you get a headache. I know these are big concepts, but as a nurse, I've worked with energy fields enough time that it's always energy first. So then she says, "But yeah, well, no, you're not really understanding me," she said. And she starts to get really mad at me. And she said, "I have migraines. I have very painful migraines." And so I just said, let me be clear. All physical illness, all emotional distress, all mental angst, all spiritual confusion is caused by stuck energy. And that is a fact. Now, this is why, as a nurse, I wanted to stop working in the hospital and I wanted to start working with the human energy field, because there are some beliefs in those who work with the human energy field that when you have a pretty big illness, there's an event that happens 6 months before. So someone had told me that. It's like, if it's a big illness, something happened 6 months before that shifted their energy field or traumatized their energy field, that caused that energy block to stick there. And then it created an illness. 6 months. So I was 4 years ago, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And when I work with people that have had big illnesses, I'll say, what happened 6 months ago? And every single one of them, either I got fired from my job, I had to move houses, I went through a divorce, I had a friend that slept with, my husband, like there's big events, or, maybe my child went through cancer treatment. So each and every time I ask someone, they will say they will be able to track 6 months before that what event happened. So is it true? What if it's true? What if that is true? So think about a time when you had a major illness, and then think about that 6 months. What happened 6 months before your major illness? So I was diagnosed 4 years ago with breast cancer, and I can tell you to the day, when I went back 6 months, I know exactly the event that happened. Exactly. And it was a huge betrayal of a friend. A huge. So, did they cause the breast cancer? Well, it's in my heart. Maybe my heart was broken, right? Who knows? What if it's true? What if? So, let's see here. All right. So, when you're working with high frequencies, this is what can cause the ascension symptoms. The symptoms are not the outcome of you raising your vibration. The symptoms were already there. You just could never feel them. You were numb to them. And then you start to raise your frequency, and now suddenly you start to have aches and pains all over in my neck and on my shoulder, and oh my God, my head, and I've got an earache and my stomach hurts. All of that was already there. It's just you've raised your frequency up enough to notice it. Once you notice it, you can do something about it. You get it nice and clear. You raise your frequency up again, and now it's like, oh, I'm getting this lower back pain. Oh man, I'm just throwing energy left, right, and center at everybody. I'm being a real pain in the butt. I hate everybody right now. Like, that can happen to you when you're raising your frequency, and it's like, oh my God, I'm supposed to be love and light, and I'm hating everybody. It's like there's an energy block. That's all. You are love and light. You just got a little blocked energy. So it can be, like I said, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. So let's talk about, you have hip pain and you've cracked a bone, and it hurts really bad, and they might have to do hip replacement. The blocked energy was there for years. Now, I'm talking about an acute illness like breast cancer that happened to me all of a sudden. But it's often said that the energy block will start to build like 7 years before as well. And so, all right, hip pain, cracked bone. Anybody that breaks a bone, that's old survival stuff that caused the bone to break, because the bones are foundational. There's an energy block in the bones, in the bone marrow, that maybe when you were growing up, you had a lot of survival issues. It can build up in the marrow and it can cause your bone to crack. But if you start working with yourself and running energy, you can start to diminish that block. You can remove the block. All right, how about cancer? So I've already talked about that. Cancer is an energy block first, cancer second. How about gallbladder stones? So I'm just randomly throwing some things out here. gallbladder stones, guess what? There was stuck energy inside the gallbladder that allowed and enabled that stone to start growing. Yes, maybe you're eating high, I don't know, caloric foods. Maybe you're eating a lot of fats. Maybe you're eating, I don't even know what all the things cause gallstones. But you can eat all that, and if there's no energy there, the stone won't grow. Heart blockages. You can get your carotid arteries that can get heart blockages. I remember once I was working with a woman, she had heart blockages, and when I started working with the blockages, she had the memories that were stuck in the arteries was a very abusive relationship where their partner hurt and harmed them a lot, just broke the heart over and over and over again. So I had to really help clear out those memories, help her to clear out those memories. We call it de-energizing them. We teach that technique. That's what caused her heart blockages. And guess what? Her heart blockages cleared. Emotional volatility. You can't manage your own emotions. You have a block in your emotional chakra. Mental confusion. You can't string your thoughts together. Alzheimer's, dementia. It always starts with energy first and the disease second. Autoimmune disorders are a big block to the flow of your spiritual energy coming into your body. So autoimmune disorder is where your body fights itself. It doesn't recognize itself. And so it won't even let your spirit come into your body. Well, that's a major block. And you can heal it. I've witnessed it over and over and over again, people healing their autoimmune disorder. But it takes a lot of time because for your body not to recognize you, there's a lot of blocks in your energy field. And I'm not going to get into the reasons why, but it's healable. You can heal it. So, yeah. So I just want to repeat it. No matter what, it starts with an energy block first. So why am I excited about this? Because it was about 6 weeks ago, or maybe 8 weeks ago, and Spirit said, we really want you to teach about light codes and blue light and blue plasma and quantum physics and sacred geometry. And I'm like, whoa, 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 hold up. I am a registered nurse. And I have spent 30 years learning how to heal my own human energy field and my own body. And I've helped teach other people how to heal their bodies and how to release stuck energy so they can have a fulfilling life. And now you want me to do a hard left or a hard right and start talking about blue light beings and star people? I said, you're really hurting me here because I love being a nurse. I love teaching people about health. And they were like, Nancy, there was not 1 minute we were asking you to give up being a nurse. There was not one moment that we were asking you to stop teaching people about the health of their body and that they're capable of healing themselves. We're just asking you to throw out those 30-year-old medical books and all the ways that you were taught to heal, because with all the metamorphosis changing that's going to happen, we're going to start being able to heal ourselves just by shifting our frequency. Can you imagine shifting your frequency and dissolving your own gallstones? Can you imagine shifting your frequency and healing your own arthritis and healing the bone as if the arthritis was never there? I've witnessed a lot of health issues reverse. Is it like a magic wand, and I just tap it and it's better? No. Do I just wiggle my nose? No. But teaching you how to do it is going to enable you to remain in a healthier state and to be able to address it. You know, like when I had a deformed hip, it took me about 7 years to straighten it out. I was in full-blown, in my 20s, menopause of all crazy, crazy things. And it took me about 6 years and I got it all turned around again. I was no longer in menopause. So my eyes, oh my gosh. Okay. I could go on and on and on. But this is why I'm sharing this with you, because it's always an energy block first. It's a frequency disorder. It is not a physical, emotional, mental, spiritual disorder. It is a frequency disorder. And if you can shift the frequency, so I'm going to be working on that. And you're going to be working on that. And other nurses and doctors and anybody in the medical field, we're going to ask you all to start working on that, to at least hold that belief in our future that that's not only possible, but it's highly probable. So when I talk about the blue light of quantum healing, it's like keep meditating with that blue frequency, because anything that's not in alignment with the purity of truth of who you are will dissolve with that blue light. Pain will dissolve with that blue light. So give yourself permission to kind of shift your thinking a little bit. And I'd love to hear if you've had experiences with healings that way that didn't heal the traditional way, or do you believe it's possible or not? You know, let's have a conversation in the comment section. All right, everyone, thank you so much. Loved sharing my thoughts and my beliefs with you. And of course, you always, always have free will to believe your own way. But in this particular subject, this is my jam. This is what I've been working for 30 years, and I have been witness to so much healing that as a nurse, I never thought was possible. All right, everyone, take care. See you on the next video.